Hey, Maximizers. Welcome to my live. If this is your first time watching me, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Crystal, aka Krista Maximizer, and I am a content coach. And I help product based business owners maximize their sales by creating consistent content that includes going live. Natasha, what you doing, girl? Um, so I have been on social media since 2018. I have been creating content since then. I started off teaching women how to coupon, how to budget, how to meal plan, how to strategically shop and save money. So I started doing that in 2018. In 2020, my clients were like, "Hey, Crystal, can you teach us how to start side hustles? Can you teach us how to start YouTube channels? Can you teach us how to start businesses because it's a pandemic? We need to make more money. And eventually, we don't want to work at our 9 to 5." So in 2020, I accidentally became a business coach. It was not my intention. It was not a thought in my mind. It was not a focus. It was not something that I desired to do. Literally, I accidentally became a business coach out of a need to help my clients. What I found was I actually liked it. My business coach was like, "Hey, Crystal, will you come be a co-coach in my community and help my people?" And I was like, okay. So again, I accidentally became a business coach. And for 3 years, I did both. Forward facing, I was the coupon girl. I was teaching women how to save money, how to shop at CVS and Walgreens without spending all of their dollars, without feeling like I had to go to every single store. But in 2023, my life shifted. I went through a crisis, a 33-year-old person crisis, and I realized that I wanted to be a business coach. I realized that helping women make more money made me more excited than teaching women how to save money and scrimp and save. Couponing is something that I will do, the millionaire version of me coupons. But I also saw the impact of helping my clients make more money and how it changed their lives. I mean, they were doing such amazing things with their businesses that I was really motivated. And I was like, you know what? I want to be a business coach. It's okay to pivot. So in 2023, I made the decision that I was going to be a business coach. In order to do that, I was like, you know what? I want to build a fresh, specific audience of women who want to start and grow their businesses. So I started my new YouTube channel, Build a Business with Chris. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, especially those of you watching on TikTok, please make sure you go subscribe to Build a Business with Chris. Build a Business with KRYS. Go subscribe to that YouTube channel because I said I wanted to build a fresh, a unique, an audience of women who want to start and grow their businesses so that I can help them. So I started my new YouTube channel at the end of 2023. At the beginning of 2024, I closed down all of my couponing, coaching, and memberships. I let go of thousands of dollars in monthly reoccurring revenue, and I essentially started my business completely over in 2024. I was literally starting from scratch with a handful of clients, and I was like, you know what? I am going to be a business coach. I'm going to build it. It wasn't my plan to start that way, but I also dealt with breaking up an engagement in 2023. So my mindset, my emotions, my life at that point was not in a place for me to sell the way that I needed to. And I said, you know what? We're just going to have to figure it out. So in 2024, I had another come to Jesus moment with myself. And I said, I'm a business coach. I've helped women take the idea from their brain, turn it into a business. I'd help women who already had businesses grow their businesses and grow their sales. But I asked myself, what was my secret sauce? There's 11 business coaches out here. In the sea of business coaches, I wasn't saying anything or doing anything that made me stand out. So I really had to sit with myself and say, Crystal, what have you done well in your business? And what have you helped your clients with most? The answer to that question is content. I've posted almost 2,000 videos up on YouTube across my two channels. I've gone live over 1,000 times. What has that content yielded me? That content has yielded me close to $400,000 in my business. Since 2018, I've been able to make close to $400,000 in my business. I've made over $35,000 from Google AdSense. I've been able to make hundreds of thousands of dollars from my coaching. I've gotten 4-figure and 5-figure brand deals. I have been able to make a lot of money from my content. So I decided I'm going to be a content coach. And more specifically, in 2024, I was like, niche it down even more. I'm a content coach, but more specifically, I'm a content coach that helps you with a live strategy. I was just writing sales emails today for my live bootcamp, and the things that I have been able to do as in my content has literally come from live. I signed almost 200 clients from going live. Then I turned around and signed like 50 clients from going live. And I signed 30 clients at a time and 40 clients at a time, all from going live. I was flabbergasted at myself because I scrolled through my camera roll and I went back to the 2021 version of Crystal, and she was going live out the wazoo. Thank you so much for those gifts. And I was making a ton of sales. So all of that is validation. Hey, Barbara, thank you so much for joining. All of that is validation. And all of that is for me to say to you, you gotta niche down. Like, being a business coach was too big for me, in the sense of like, what's my secret sauce? Do different? How do I stand out? So in front of you today is Chris, the content coach who specializes in helping her clients create a live strategy. So that is who I am. I've been yapping for 6 or 7 minutes, but I like to make sure that at the beginning of my lives, you know exactly who I am. You know what I've gone through. It hasn't been easy. Oh, thank you, D. It has not been easy. Hey, Vonzella, thank you so much for joining. It hasn't been easy. It hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. It's actually been pretty hard, and it's been very rocky, and it hasn't been like this straight and narrow path or this straight and narrow path. It has been very high highs and super low lows, but it has been great. And everything that I went to got me to this place today, the content coach that specializes in live strategy. And tonight, when I saw the live that I've chose for tonight, I was like, Crystal, tonight we're talking about how I choose my live topics and how you can choose your live topics. Because I am the self-coined queen of going live. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to take a sip of water, but I need to know who's here. So let me know in the comments, where are you watching from and what is your business? Where are you watching from? What city, what state, what country? Where are you watching from? I'm in Orlando, Florida right now. It was warmer when I was outside, but it's 53 degrees right now, and it's going to get down into the 40s tonight. So that means I got to turn my heat on again, because I will not be in here shaking and shivering. And like I said, I'm a content coach that specializes in a live strategy. Who are you? And well, what is your business and where are you from? Let me know in the comments. And we're going to talk about how I choose my live topics. Now, I go live a lot. So the way in which I choose my live topics is literally the same process that I go through to choose my videos. And D, I just sent you a boxer, like 2 boxers, 3 boxers, I think, that I think you'll get a kick out of, because I was channeling my best D. And I feel like I might run out of water because my throat is already like, girl, you've been yapping after being quiet. I've been quiet for like 2 hours. I got off the phone with my sister and I got focused and I was writing emails, and I really do not like writing emails. Let me say that. That's one thing in my business I don't like doing. But I started to write my emails like I talk, and it just flowed out of me like word vomit. I stopped trying to be all like formal in my emails and like stuffy. And I was like, I don't know why I feel like robotic with my emails. I just started typing like I talk. I literally started my email with, okay, so boom. And it just, if you're on my email list, the email that you're going to get on January 16th, listen, and you're getting an email every day. Okay. You're getting an email every single day between now and the live bootcamp. But anywho, let's talk about how I pick my live topics. Okay. Jesus, I'm spilling the water down my shirt. This is what happens when I get too excited. Like, I like wet myself up. Like, you already took a shower today. It's not time for your next shower. D is watching from Baltimore. I'ma check. Thank you, D. Melody says business development coach in DFW, Texas. Thank you, Melody, for joining. Okay. Who else? Don't be shy. Let us know where you're watching from and what your business is. Okay, so boom. We're going to talk about how I choose my live topic. So I have been going live since 2019. I went back and I realized I was going live once a month in 2019. I looked at a 2022 graphic that I made and I was going live 4 to 6 times a month. Okay. Now my current live schedule is I go live 4 times a week. 4 times a week. My goal is to go live a minimum of 16 times in a month. Okay. So I have a process that I go through if you've watched my videos, you watch my lives when I talk about planning your content for the month, I plan my lives like I plan my videos. There is a method to the madness. I no longer just decide I'm going to go live and go live. What I realized when I used to do that is I would forget things, I would miss things, I would go off topic way too much because I didn't have a topic and I didn't have a focus. So choosing my live topics is so important to me being able to deliver a clear and concise live, because I can get on here and yet for hours about a lot of things, but I want to be very intentional when I show up in my lives. And as a business owner, I want to be intentional, because my goal is to grow my audience and make sales. Okay. So going live is my favorite way to market. This live is really going to be me talking a lot about myself and my process, just so y'all know. So going live is my favorite way to show up. I think I realized this in 2021 is when I really realized that going live was my favorite. It was my preferred method of showing up. And I fought it in the sense of like, I felt like I still had to put out a lot of pre-recorded content in order for my audience to grow, which is true. But I also forgot the fact that like my lives are so powerful. So 2021 is when I really fell in love with live. And I want to say 2021 is also around the time when I started going live on all of my platforms at once. I actually didn't get big into TikTok until 2021. Like I started TikTok in 2020, and then I got really serious about posting on TikTok in 2021 and 2022. But I decided to go live in all of my places, right? And that what made me like it even more, because if there's one thing I realized, my favorite platform to go live on is TikTok. The live TikTok experience is chef's kiss amazing, and I will desperately miss that if it goes away. Okay, so enough ranting about that. I used to struggle with picking my live topics until I did this process of choosing my live topics, how I choose my pre-recorded content topics. So what do I do first? Number one, what I like to do, I like to look at what content pre-recorded am I posting in YouTube, on YouTube for the month. So my current YouTube strategy is one recorded video per week. So I post one video a week on Saturdays and I go live 4 times a week. So when I'm choosing my live topics, I look at my pre-recorded video topics. Okay. I know how many times a week I want to go live. So if you're translating this for yourself, how often are you going live in the month? My suggestion, start off with 2 times a month, every other week, and then build yourself up to weekly. If you want to do 1 or 2 a week, cool, but build yourself up to that. If you've never gone live before, I literally started with 1 live a month, and I did that for a few months. Then I did like 1 every other week, and I did that for a few months. Then I started on the weekly kit, and then that felt good. And then I went crazy, and I would go live for 3 or 4 days at a time, 3 or 4 days at a time. Then I went live for a month. Then I went live like 200 times in a year, which is crazy back then. But today I'm like, yeah, that's my goal for this year is 200. Anywho, start small. So knowing how many live topics I need, I look at my pre-recorded video topics. I got 1 per week. And I'm like, okay, which of these do I want to do as a standalone live? Because a 10-minute YouTube video is cool, but a 1-hour live is epic. Okay. I can go deeper. I can connect with you, answer all your questions. You're here in real time. How many of these can I turn into a live? I need 16 live topics for the month. So I'll look at those 4 that I have. Probably all 4 of them I'll do as a live. So that's 4. Okay. We got 12 to go. Next, what does my audience need to know before they work with me or before they buy from me? So this comes down to educating your audience in one of your content pillar areas, in one of your core areas. So when you're trying to figure out what to talk about on live, ask yourself, what does your audience need to know before they work with me, service provider, before they buy from me, product base? What is something that they need to know? What is something that's essential? What is something that they need help with? So if I use myself as an example, right now I'm selling my live bootcamp. And my live bootcamp is going to help you create your live strategy for the next 30 days. You're going to come up with your topics, your outlines, what you're selling, how you're selling it, all the things that you need to go live for the next 30 days. What do you need to know before you join the live bootcamp? Why should you be going live? Why is live going to help you with your business? How to figure out your live topics, how to feel confident to go live. I'm going to go deeper on all of these things inside the bootcamp. But as someone who is watching my content, you're going to want to know these things about live before you spend $149 to join me in the bootcamp. Does this make sense? Yes or no? Tap the screen. If you are selling candles, what people would need to know about you and your candles before, why did you start the candle company? What makes your ingredients different? Why are your scents special? What makes your candles different from the ones that I can get at Bath and Body Works? That's 4 live topics right there. And when you're starting off going live, you don't have to do an hour like me. Do 15-ish minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. That's 4 topics about candles that you can talk about. 1 live a week. That's what someone would need to know before they bought your candle, right? So what does your audience need to know before they work with you or before they buy from you? That's a really easy topic to lean into, okay? Next, my favorite, I do this at the beginning of every single one of my lives. I usually take up 5 to 10 minutes. And the next thing, when you choose your live topics, for me personally, share my story. So I've added this to every live. Because my lives are an hour, I'm like, okay, I want to spend the first 5 to 10 minutes sharing with my audience who I am and how I got to be the person that's in front of them today. There's so many people on the internet, so much information being presented. You want to know who you're talking to. You want to know who you're listening to. You want to know what qualifies this person to give you the advice or share the information that they're sharing. Your story is so important to the journey as a small business owner because it connects you to your ideal clients. Now, once a year on my anniversary, I go into my story of how I became Krista Maximizer and how I literally got to where I am today. And every year I add on more because at this point, what is it going to be? 6 or 7 years. I never remember. So 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 7 years of Krista Maximizer. This year's 7 years. Let me make a sticky note of that because I forget it every live. 7 years is insane, okay? So every year on my anniversary, I tell you the full story of how I became Krista Maximizer and how I started my business and why I started my business and the ups and the downs and how I got fired. Like I tell you all the things. But when I started off in 2018 and I started going live in 2019, I would do lives where I would say like why I started couponing, how I started couponing, why couponing has saved me so much money, why I decided to start my business. And I would just do a live and just tell my story. I would talk about couponing, but I was more so sharing from the perspective of like why I'm here and why I started. So you want to share your story, your origin story, not all your business, not all your nitty gritty, but why did you start your business? How did you start your business? What prompted you to start your business? Most people had something that happened in their life that made them want to start their business. So share your story. How did you get to where you are today? You know what I mean? So that is so powerful. And as a small business owner, people need to know you, like you, and trust you to buy from you. Sharing with your story and giving them a way to connect with you is a huge, huge way to help you build your audience and inadvertently make sales. Elisa is here on YouTube. Hey, Elisa. Happy New Year. I'm happy you caught me live today. You are a postpartum doula watching from Maryland. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you had a happy New Year as well. I'm happy to have you. Siobhan on TikTok says, I've been secretly watching you for a while. Ooh, Siobhan. Well, thank you so much for commenting. I'm super excited to have you here. If Siobhan and anyone else who's been watching me for a while, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel. For those of you that are watching on TikTok, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. All of my live replays are over there. My YouTube channel is Build a Business with Chris. Build a Business with KRYS. It's linked in my profile, or you can fill out the form at the bottom, which will get you to my email list, and you'll get the direct link to subscribe to my YouTube channel and book a free sales call if you want to work together to start or grow your business. I do help women start their businesses from scratch, and then I also help you grow an existing business on social media. So thank you so much for those gifts. If you want to work with me, please go ahead and just get on my email list and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Those are the best ways to stay connected, especially if our beloved TikTok goes away. I'm praying that it doesn't. And baby, I got some big plans if TikTok stays around, right? I got some big plans if TikTok stays around. I think I met you not long after your move to Florida. You mean like my second move to Florida? Because I've lived here since 2012, and then I left and came back. Like, you met me in person? Where do we meet? Tell me, remind me. If we actually met in person, or do you mean like met virtually? Okay, so where was I at? Share your story. Why did you start? How did you start? How do you get to where you are today in your business? Okay. Third way I choose my live topics. This is by far my favorite one. And I was looking, D, if you listen to the Boxer, I was looking at my analytics today. And one of my top lives, don't let me not lie, one of my top lives or top videos, I can't remember. Let's see. I think it was number 6 or number 7 out of 10 of my top lives was content Q&A, which brings me to my point. When I choose my live topics, questions. What are the questions that my audience has been asking me? What are the questions that I'm getting in my comments? What are the questions that my competitors are getting, but they're not answering? What questions are popping up on my main social media platform that there's gaps that people are not answering? Questions. Hey, Andrea, we met at Planning a Better Me conference in Virginia, I think. Okay, I was in Florida then, because that conference happened in 2019, because then the pandemic came and we haven't had another one since. So yes, in 2019, I was still living in Florida. I was in Florida, and then during the pandemic, I left and came back. But awesome. Well, how have you been? And thank you so much for watching. Questions. Like, answer all the questions. And one thing I learned from my coupon coach era, answer the same questions all the time. I would do a live probably every 6 or 7 weeks on how to start couponing. Did I talk about that all the time? Yes. Why? Because new people are coming to your audience every day, and old people sometimes need the basics again. So how to use social media for your business, how to plan your content, how to sell on social media, how to create your content, how to show up and sell, how to be consistent in your business. These are core questions that I get also. What platform should I be on? Should I focus on going viral? What kind of content should I create? These are core questions. They're just coming to the top of my mind that I get often, not daily, weekly, monthly, via email, via DM, via my comments. These are questions that I get. So those are lives that I'm going to do all the time. How to start a business. How to start a business with no money. How to use social media for your business. Okay. How to make sales on social media. How to build an audience. Those are core questions that I'm going to get all the time. I'm going to answer them. I'm going to do a live or video of some sort every 6 to 8 weeks. Is it repetitive? Yes. Do people need to hear things 10 or 20 times for it to stick? Absolutely. And because it's free content, only a small portion of people take action on free content. When people pay, they pay attention. So for free, I give you a little nugget. When you pay to work with me, you get the full platter, you get the full meal, you get the full course, right? But for free, I give you a little bit. And the people who implement the little bit, they are making progress. Some people don't implement the free, but when people pay, they pay attention, they show up big, and they make results. I'm going to give you an example. My mother is a seamstress. She's been sewing since she was in middle school, and she is in her 60s now. I was giving my mother free advice for years. She would ask me questions, I would give her answers. Ask me questions, give her answers. She wouldn't listen. 2022, my mother joined one of my business coaching programs that I was running. Oh, I gave her a severe discount, but she was paying. She paid every month. And I think she was in my programs for almost 2 years. My mother was in my programs paying me every single month, right? This woman started creating reels, started getting clients from her reels, started listening to me. She was doing so well in her business because she was paying and she was paying attention. So because she was investing her money, she was actually doing the work. But I was telling her the same shit for free. And she wasn't doing it. I wish she was listening right now. She'd be on my live sometimes. She was getting this information for free and not doing a daggone thing. She came to me and said she wanted to pay. I gave her a discount. She started doing the work. She actually started implementing what I said and actually started seeing the results in her business, right? So answer those questions over and over and over again. Put an all call out on your social media. What questions do you have? What things do you want to know? Look at questions in your industry. What questions do people ask in your industry that are not getting answered? What questions are people asking on your competitors' social media? Go to a competitor that has 100, 200, a million followers and look at their comment section. Do not watch the content. Do not get ideas from them. Do not scroll for inspiration. I want you to look at their comments. What questions are people asking over and over again and not getting an answer? That's a good live. It's also a good piece of content. Anything that can be pre-recorded content can be live. Will I have a pre-recorded video coming out about how to choose live topics? Yes. That video is coming out sometime. Is it this month or next month? I don't know. Just know that it's coming out. Because this is something that people ask all the time. This is something that people need help with all the time. This is something that people struggle with very often. So with that being said, I'm going to talk about this a lot. How to choose content topics, how to choose live topics. I'm going to talk about it all the time, okay? So if you are watching and you are not subscribed to my business channel, please make sure you are subscribed to Build a Business with Chris. It's Build a Business with KRYS. And then make sure you're on my email list. You can do both of those things at christhemaximizer.com. If you are on TikTok, you can fill out this form right here, name, email, phone number. You'll get on my email list, and you'll also get the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's where all the replays are. And I'm really going to be digging into my YouTube channel and maximizing it, posting more, doing more polls over there, and eventually posting to shorts. That is on my to-do list for 2025. Any questions so far before I keep going? My lives are open and interactive. So if you have any questions, let me know. Any questions so far about choosing topics for live? This is a part of my PBS schedule, which is plan, batch, and schedule your content. This is the planning phase. So I do all of this to come up with my live topics. I do this mostly for my content topics, and then I kind of just pull from my content topics. One other thing that I do to get my live topics. So whenever I come up with content, and when I say content, I mean YouTube videos, I usually have 3 to 5 talking points in my YouTube videos. Excuse me. And I usually have 3 to 5 talking points in my lives. What I'll do is for my YouTube videos, I'll have 3 to 5 talking points. I'll take 1 or 2 of those talking points and make that a live. So like how I choose my live topics, that was a pre-recorded video. Now it's a live. I could also do a live on why I share my story on live. That's one. I can do one on how to find content topics through questions. I can do that as a whole live. And I'll talk about all the different types of questions, all the different places you can find questions. That's 3 lives from one video. Does that make sense? So like I will look at my content that I've decided to create. Another good thing to do, go back 6 months in your content. Go back 6 months. What pieces of content performed really, really well? What pieces of content were very engaging? What topics were people like, oh my gosh, I love this. This was great. I needed this. Do a live about those things. Same exact information. A lot of times I literally will copy and paste. If I did this as a pre-recorded video and people are loving it 6 months ago, I'm going to do a live about it today, right now. Today, right now. I'm going to do a live about it, right? Literally. Okay. And it's super simple, super easy, and I don't have to think about it. I know this piece of information people need and people want. Okay. Next thing I choose for my live topics is Google. Use Google. So go to Google, type in your business, type in your industry, type in your product. There's a section on Google you can scroll down to that says other questions people are asking. All of those, great live topics. All of those, great content topics. If people are typing it into Google, that means they're typing it into YouTube, which means they're probably typing it into Instagram and TikTok as well. If they're searching for it on Google, it means that we need this content in the world. So if you look on Google and Google says these are other questions that people are asking about this topic, about this product, about this area, then you want to go ahead and make a piece of content around it. Make a piece of content around it. Promise you, you won't regret it. Next way I choose my live topics, what am I selling this month? I'm going to be talking about this a lot in the live bootcamp. If you're not familiar, my live bootcamp is a 2-day live bootcamp that I'm hosting January 26th and 28th, where I'm going to help you create a 30-day live strategy so that you can show up confidently on live, build and nurture your audience, and most importantly, make more sales. So when I'm coming up with my live topics, I need to know what am I selling for the month. This month, I'm selling my live bootcamp. So as a result of that, I will do a live where I'm talking just about my live bootcamp. It's scheduled, it's coming up, where I'm just going to sit and talk to you about why you need the live bootcamp, why it's helpful, why it's going to help you get more of what you want, why it's going to help you make more sales. It's going to help you because I'm going to help you plan it out. You're going to leave the live bootcamp with your workbook filled out and your live plan for the next 30 days. You're going to know your topics. You're going to know your outlines. You're going to know what to say, and you're going to know how to say it. You're going to show up on live like the boss that you are, nurture your audience, and make more sales. It doesn't have to be hard if you plan it out. Things become easier when you have a plan. So that's what I'm teaching you inside the live bootcamp. So if you want to join, KristenMaximizer.com/bootcamp. It is $149. You get 2 days of live bootcamp, 2 hours each, Q&A time. It's on Zoom, so you get to talk to me. I get to talk to you. You get a workbook. You get 30-day access to the replays. And the best part, you get a one-on-one coaching call with me. Everyone gets a 15-minute one-on-one coaching call with me during the boot camp. Well, after the boot camp, you schedule your 15 minutes, and it's just me and you on Zoom. You can ask me any and all your questions specifically about your business, specifically about implementing content, sales, what have you. But everybody gets a 15-minute one-on-one call. So that's what you get when you join the live boot camp. This will sell out. So if I was you, I'd go grab my spot in the live boot camp and don't wait. Okay? Don't wait. So I'm going to be going over that much deeper inside the live boot camp. Next, I think I already talked about this, but I said my content topics. So any core content topics that my audience has loved from the past 90 days, I like to do lives on those and go deeper. For instance, this one, how I choose my live topics. This was something that people loved last year, but it also ties into what am I selling this month? I'm selling my live bootcamp. What does my audience need to know before they buy from me? How to pick your live topics. Now, in the bootcamp, I'm going to specifically be going to each and every person and asking them, like, obviously what their business is, getting some feedback, and helping them generate 2 to 4 live topics for the next 30 days. That's what we are going to do. So whatever my content is that I'm sharing for the month, for the week, I'm going to take that topic and I'm going to dig deep into it. I'm going to actually spend some time with my audience, answer their questions, and go deeper. Something that I cannot do in a 10-minute YouTube video. I'm just too put together on YouTube. There's no energy coming back to me. I'm literally in a room talking to myself. You can't get that. You can't get that type of engagement from a video. You only get that over on live. So that's how I mostly choose my live topics. I would love to know what questions you have about going live, about creating content in your business. If you don't have any questions, can you let me know in the comments Was this helpful? Yes or no? Was this helpful? Yes or no? And what questions do you have about going live? What questions do you have about creating content in your business? And don't be shy. I answer all the questions, okay? What questions do we have? If you don't have any questions, let me know if this was helpful. Does anyone else's neighborhood ring app go off all the time? Mine just went off like 2 times. Like, what is going on? It's always something in this daggone neighborhood. People are always posting something. One question I get all the time, what platform should I be going live on? Okay. The answer to that question, always the same. What platform are you building your audience? Like, what platform is your main platform where you're building your audience, where your ideal clients are the most? And then, second, what platform do you want to be on? So, whatever platform is your main social media platform, I would say go live on it. If you have multiple platforms that have an audience, when you go live and you have multiple devices, it doesn't hurt you to go live in multiple places. That is what really changed the game for me in 2021 when I was able to make almost 200 sales. I started going live on all of my platforms. So right now I'm live on Instagram, TikTok, both of my YouTube channels, and my Facebook page. So I use my laptop to go live for my YouTube and Facebook. And then I have one phone for Instagram and one phone for TikTok because I naturally already have 2 phones. So it works out really well for me. So go live on your main platform. And if you have the devices, go live on multiple platforms at once. It can only help you. Another question that I get all the time, and I think I kind of covered this, is like, what if I get repetitive? What if I'm saying the same thing over and over again? Guess what? That's okay. Your audience needs the repetition. I will have people in my audience that are like, oh my gosh, I just saw this. I've been saying that for 3 years. Or I didn't know you had this. I've had that for 2 years. But some people really aren't necessarily paying attention until it's something that they actually need, right? So it's okay if you repeat yourself. It's okay. Next, what if I choose a topic and no one shows up? That's going to happen. Like, I don't have a number on Instagram right now. Like, there's nobody watching me on Instagram right now. It will happen. First off, you got to remember that you are preparing yourself. Someone a couple lives ago was like, Crystal, how did you get like so poised and polished on live? So I've always been a yapper. I've always been a talker, but also it comes from practice. I've gone live 1,000 times. So I know my flow. I get how I want to show up. I know how I want to deliver my information. It took time. My first live was terrible. Okay. I was fumbling around. I didn't have anything prepared. I didn't figure out what I was doing. I didn't have a flow. My band teacher used to say to us, and I'll never forget this, even though I couldn't stand her. She would say, practice makes permanent, not perfect, because we're never perfect. And I was like, you know what? She's right. The more you do it, the more permanent it becomes to you, the easier it becomes. So we can't think about the negative. We can't think about what if no one shows up? What if 100 people show up? You can't think about the negative, only think about the positive. How can you show up the most prepared, the most engaged, and the best version of yourself to deliver your information to your audience? That's what you do. Best part is you can save your lives as replays. I'll say 99% of the time, my live replays get more views on my platforms than the live itself gets active people. Ooh, excuse me. When I looked at my YouTube analytics today, that's what I saw. On YouTube, it's like, oh, the peak amount of people that were in my lives on YouTube was 10. But my YouTube live replays will get 50 and 60 views. Excuse me, 50 and 60 views after being up on my page for a while. Might not sound like a lot, but if I'm only looking to sign 5 clients in a month, 50 views on a live is great. And if I do that 10 to 15 times a month, that's a lot of viewers. That's a lot of opportunities for me to sell. That's a lot of opportunities for me to sign the clients that I desire. So don't get hung up on what's not happening. Focus on what can you do to get the results that you desire. Okay? So those are my tips for choosing your live topics. what I would love for you to do, if you haven't done it so already, please make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, Build a Business with Chris. It's Build a Business with KRYS. And also make sure you're on my email list. KristenMaximizer.com. Click on join the email list. If you're on TikTok, you can fill out this form. Anyone on Instagram, there's a link in my bio. On YouTube, it's in the description box, so that you can stay connected to me, especially if you're on TikTok and our beloved TikTok goes away. Okay. Make sure that you can stay connected to me. Hey, Jim B, thank you so much for joining. Happy New Year. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions, or was this helpful? Yes or no? Any questions, or was this helpful? Any questions? No questions? I know sometimes there's a delay. No questions. Very helpful. Yay, I'm happy to hear that. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. Happy to hear that it was helpful. So I'll be live again tomorrow. I think tomorrow's live is scheduled for 9 p.m. I may move it up to 8 if I'm done doing the other stuff that I'm doing, but otherwise I'll do it at 9. Tomorrow's topic is how to sell on social media. I need to reschedule my sales call, but I'm just going to do the boot camp. Okay, perfect. So if you do the boot camp, then you'll get a one-on-one call, and then we can also talk from there. During the boot camp, I will be talking about my 6 months of coaching, right? So you do the boot camp, you get a one-on-one call with me, and then if you still want more coaching, there'll be a great promotion to get my 6 months of coaching and my content consistency and cash coaching. So yes, go ahead, get your seat in the boot camp. Would love to talk to you. And if you do the boot camp and then we do the coaching call, you might not even need the sales call, because the boot camp has it's 2 hours for each session, and my talking is only about 45 minutes to like 55 minutes. So I made sure to leave a lot of time for Q&A, because I want to make sure that I have the opportunity to go to everyone, and everyone has the time to actually do the work of the boot camp, because the boot camp is a working boot camp. Like, you're going to leave with your workbook filled out. So I just wanted to make sure that there was enough time for everything. So between the Q&A of the boot camp and your 15-minute one-on-one, you may not even need the sales call. You may be like, all right, let's do this. Okay. Thank you so much for the likes. Does anybody have any other questions? I'm super excited for live boot camp. I was working on the slides because I've ran this boot camp before and a little bit of a different structure, but I'm like updating everything. And I was working on the slides today, and I was getting so excited. I was doing the day 1 slides. Day 1 is where we work on the game plan. So during the live boot camp, it's broken up into 2 days. Day 1 is how you are going to choose your live topics and your talking points. You're going to learn when to go live and for how long. Thank you so much for the gifts. I truly appreciate it. We're also going to prepare your assets, everything that you need to go live. And then also you're going to learn how to confidently show up, even if you're scared, even if you're nervous, even if you don't know what to say. We're going to make sure you're really prepared. And then on day 2, it's all about selling without saying bye, bye, bye. You saw when I was talking about the live boot camp, I really focused on this is how it's going to help you. This is why you need it. You want to sign up, click the link, right? I'm not saying up here like, buy my live boot camp, go sign up for live boot camp. No, because no one wants to hear that shit, and no one's going to buy that way. The way that you buy is from the why. So why is the live boot camp going to help you? Because it's going to give you the confidence that you need to show up on camera, to engage with your audience and make the sales that you need, right? So you are going to learn how to show up on live by knowing what to sell. You can't sell your whole website at once. So we're going to go over that. You're going to have your offer ready to sell, and you're going to make it easy to buy from you. If people have to jump through 17 hoops, they're not going to buy from you. Also, you're going to learn tips to engage with and connect with your audience, how to share your product as a solution to the problem. The live bootcamp is the solution to you being able to show up in your audience, engage with them, and make sales on live. Your problem is you want to make more sales. Your problem is that you want to be more engaged with your audience. Live Bootcamp is going to help you by putting together a live strategy that you can implement and go live for the next 30 days. And selling with storytelling, not selling with storytelling and not buy. Okay. So that's what you're going to learn in the live bootcamp day 1 and day 2. So you're going to leave with 1 month of your lives planned and outlined, your live assets planned, the confidence to show up on live, the products you're going to sell during your lives, and how to sell your offers without being pushy, salesy, or do y'all know those people that would be on TikTok begging for money? You won't look like that at all. Because when you position your offer as a solution to a problem, you never have to say bye. If you have this problem, you want this solution, sign up for the live bootcamp. You want to go live, you're struggling to go live, you want to make more sales, you're ready to go live, join the live bootcamp. It's only $149. You get 4 hours of coaching with me, a workbook, the replays, and a one-on-one coaching call. You cannot beat that. Okay, you can't beat that. So I'm looking forward to those of you that are going to be joining the live bootcamp. I'm very excited. I'm going to keep working on the slides. I think I might have met my quota for as much as I want to work today, because I put in work today. I put in a lot of work today. I did a one-on-one coaching call with one of my clients today. Love her. And I'm like, you know what? I think I might be done. I didn't read my book this morning, so I think I'm going to go to my bed and read a little bit. But thank y'all so much for joining me. As I said, tomorrow I'll be going live. We're going to be talking about selling on social media. I'll be live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get on my email list so you get notified. I do send out an email to my email list every time I go live. And I'll be sending out emails about the live bootcamp as well. So thank you all so much for joining, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.